Kim Sae Ron's rise to stardom began at just 9 years old, but the spotlight that once shined so brightly on her career eventually became her downfall. After nearly a decade of success in the entertainment industry, her world fell apart, and a string of controversies left her reputation in ruins, derailing the promising future she had built. Sae Ron was born on July 31st, 2000, and had a very bright future ahead of her. At just 9 years old, she made an unforgettable entrance into the world of acting with her debut role in the 2009 film A Brand New Life. In it, Sae Ron portrayed Jin-hee, a young girl abandoned by her father at an orphanage after he remarries. Left to navigate the emotional turmoil of loss and rejection, Jin-hee's journey leads her to be adopted by a French couple. This role required remarkable maturity and depth far beyond Sae Ron's young age. Her talent didn't go unnoticed on the world stage. She became the youngest actress ever to be invited to the prestigious Cannes Film Festival, where A Brand New Life was showcased in a special screening. Walking the red carpet at Cannes is a dream for even the most experienced actors, yet here was Sae Ron, not just attending but representing a film in one of the most respected and glamorous cinematic arenas in the world. Her presence at Cannes marked a serious milestone in her career, highlighting the extraordinary promise of a child star who had already caught global attention. As if debuting at the Cannes Film Festival wasn't already an amazing accomplishment for someone so young, Sae Ron quickly followed up with another major breakthrough. Shortly after her Cannes appearance, she landed a groundbreaking role in the action thriller The Man from Nowhere, starring alongside no one other than Won Bin. The film became a box office sensation, and before the cast could even process the success of the film, it became the highest-grossing movie in South Korea that year. The Man from Nowhere was praised for its intense action sequences and deep emotional storyline, but it was Sae Ron's performance that added an extra layer of humanity to the story, showcasing her ability to convey a wide range of emotions despite her young age. To put things into perspective, she was just a fifth grader when she achieved this. While her performance in The Man from Nowhere was watched by audiences nationwide, she revealed in an interview that she wasn't even allowed to watch the entire film due to its age restrictions. Instead, she could only view her own scenes on the monitor during filming. This small detail highlights just how unique and surreal her experience was, starring in a blockbuster film while being too young to even watch it in full. As one of the most successful child actresses at the time, Sae Ron continued to gain recognition, even taking on her first K-drama role in Listen to My Heart, where she portrayed the younger version of Hwang Jung-eum's character. Her performance earned praise from critics, who seemed to love every project she put out. Balancing her flourishing career with her education, Sae Ron finished middle school and signed with YG Entertainment, continuing to build her portfolio with prestigious roles. Her manager once said that she had a great eye for good scripts, which made it possible for her to choose her own projects at a very young age. While every actor enjoys a challenge, all this freedom likely put a lot of pressure on her during some of the most formative stages of her life. She had gone from an impressive debut at Cannes to starring in what would become the most successful films and dramas in South Korea, all before she even reached her teenage years, and this had terrible consequences for the years to come. Constantly being in the spotlight eventually caught up with her as she dealt with her first scandal at just 13 years old. It all started when an anonymous netizen shared pictures of her hanging out with friends on an online forum. One photo showed her casually sitting on a sofa with bottles of wine and wine glasses spread across the table in front of them. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only cause for concern. Another image surfaced from a karaoke room where a pack of cigarettes was clearly visible on the table. Seeing a young preteen around alcohol and cigarettes caused a big controversy, especially in South Korea, where this kind of behavior is seriously frowned upon. Naturally, the public was quick to criticize her, questioning how she could find herself in a situation like that, especially at this age. Many also assumed that Sae Ron had been amongst the people who were drinking and smoking, but she quickly turned down these rumors. Taking to her SNS account, she posted a lengthy message denying the allegations and expressing her frustration over the accusations. She wrote, "If I have been good, those who believe me will believe me. Those who don't know me and are jealous of me will not want to hear anything that is good or the truth." Once the photos began circulating online, netizens didn't just label her a reckless smoker and drinker, they went further, even spreading rumors that she was an outcast at school. For a 13-year-old, these kinds of hurtful comments can cut deep. So it's no surprise that Sae Ron eventually hit back at the public. She wrote, "Spreading false rumors is a crime. I want to receive an apology from those who tied together all those photos to make it seem like I did something bad. I have never even thought of doing something that someone my age shouldn't do. She expressed her sadness over the situation and said it helped her understand why directors cast her in painful roles. So Sae Ron did something that celebrities in Korea rarely do. Rather than apologizing, she actually demanded an apology from the press for spreading false rumors. Her teen years were chaotic, to say the least, because her next scandal happened only 4 years later. Around 2018, one of Sae Ron's most popular fan pages on Twitter abruptly shut down, leaving fans extremely confused. It all happened without any explanation, which naturally stirred curiosity and concern. While it's not uncommon for fan pages to close, the suddenness of this one raised quite a few eyebrows. When the page's founders announced the closure, their farewell message was pretty cryptic, saying, "I hope in 2018 you are the Kim Sae Ron loved by even more people." The original posters also suggested that Sae Ron should take fan gifts more seriously, which only added fuel to the fire. Although no direct accusations were made, fans couldn't help but wonder if something had happened behind the scenes. Rumors began circulating that Sae Ron might have thrown away or even regifted a fan's present, which deeply upset many of her supporters. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the mere possibility was enough to cause disappointment and unease among her fan base, further ruining her already damaged image. Netizens believed that she was just another spoiled, entitled child actress and started treating her that way. By now, it's clear that Sae Ron didn't maintain a squeaky clean image during her teenage years. Some netizens blamed her so-called reckless behavior on poor parenting, pointing fingers at her mother for her alleged lack of discipline. Sae Ron often shared photos with a mysterious woman on social media, who fans later identified as her mother. To their surprise, they discovered she was quite young, born in 1980, and giving birth to Sae Ron at just 21 years old. This revelation only fueled the debate over her upbringing and who might be responsible for her controversies. Although Sae Ron shared that her mother took great care of her and did everything for her daughter, netizens remained skeptical. Many argued that having a child so young could negatively impact the kid's development. After learning that her mother had once worked as a magazine model, some also went on to question whether she was equipped to properly guide her daughter through the challenges of fame. Perhaps her mother wanted to relive what it was like to be in the spotlight, so she might have been pushing Sae Ron into something that she wasn't prepared to handle mentally. While it's easy to blame bad parenting, we can't overlook the heavy burden of growing up in the spotlight. For someone like Sae Ron, who became famous at such a young age, the pressures and struggles she faced were immense. By the age of 21, her career had already faced a few bumps, but none of the controversies were damaging enough to derail her completely. She'd turned a few heads when she abruptly dropped out of a drama and stirred public outrage when accidentally used a foul word on national television, but it was the 2022 incident when she was caught driving under the influence that truly sent her into a downward spiral. On the night of May 18th, chaos erupted in Gangnam when police began receiving several reports of a car dangerously swerving through the streets. That turned out to be Sae Ron. Eyewitnesses claimed she had already collided with several objects on her ride, but things took a shocking turn when her car slammed into an electricity generator, causing power loss in the entire area. As if the situation couldn't get worse, Sae Ron reportedly tried to flee the scene, hoping to avoid the authorities. Unfortunately for her, the police quickly caught up with her and then found out that her blood alcohol level was a shocking 0.2%, well over the limit to have her license revoked on the spot. The impact of her reckless actions didn't stop at the crash. The power outage affected around 50 nearby places, leaving businesses unable to process payments and traffic lights malfunctioning. Shortly after the incident, Sae Ron posted a handwritten apology on Instagram, expressing regret for her reckless actions and promising to compensate for the damages. She also apologized to her fellow actors and staff for disrupting ongoing projects. As a result of the scandal, she was dropped from the drama trolley and stepped down from Netflix's Bloodhounds. To make matters worse, KBS banned her from their broadcasts, practically ending her career indefinitely. The price Sae Ron paid to be famous was very costly, and although the benefits were sweet at first, now she's left with absolutely nothing. She went from being a beloved child actress to being blacklisted on major television networks, almost making it impossible for her to return to the industry. Sae Ron had to face court for the damage she caused and was fined around $15,000 for driving under the influence. She revealed she was struggling financially, as she had been the main breadwinner for her family. Rumors circulated that she took on part-time jobs to support herself, sparked by photos of her at a coffee shop and later reports of her working at a bar. While some accused her of lying, it became clear that with her acting career in jeopardy, she had to find other ways to make ends meet. In April of this year, she tried to return to the industry, but without much success, as her worsening mental health condition made her unfit for the job. Right now, it's reported that she's working at a cafe to make a living, a tragic fall for someone who once had so much potential. These challenges of fame, deeply rooted in her early years, followed her like shadows, eventually consuming her adulthood and tragically ruining the career she had worked so hard to build. It's heartbreaking to see how the very thing that brought her fame also became the source of her destruction.